Hey folks, welcome back to the Restaurant Show. If you've lived in southern Wisconsin for a number of years, you might wonder, where the heck did Brennan's go? Well, I'm here to tell you that they are back here on the west side of Madison, and I'm really excited to be here at Brennan Cellars, and I'm joined now by Chef Adam and owner Tim. How are you guys?
Good. Great.
Good to have you with us. Good to be here. Thanks for having us out here today. So, Tim, why don't you start out by talking a little bit about how Brennan's came to be resurrected and as Brennan Cellars?
Yeah, sure. So a year ago at this time, we were kind of organizing to close down all 5 Brennan's locations in southern Wisconsin. And at that time, I was sort of organizing a group to make a comeback, at least at this one location. We were able to do so and reopen the doors December 1st of 2017 and really haven't looked back. And one of those key members was Adam here. We brought aboard to handle the kitchen duties and be our head chef and manage all of the prepared food obligations that we were looking to fulfill.
Yeah, and you've got some great food here as well. And you were, just so folks know, you were general manager of this location prior to opening it up and becoming the owner.
Indeed,
of
I was, yeah, and just a store manager at a couple other locations as well throughout the years, and most recently our location here in Watts Road.
Very good, very good. So, Adam, you've got some awesome sandwiches here. You call it your dynamite sandwiches. So, let's, for viewers who might not be familiar with what's on your menu, give us a little bit of an overview. What are some of the customer favorites that you're seeing?
Well, so, we kind of deliver a standard. I don't have anything on there that I just put on there. So everything that we have, we stand behind. It's all tried, tested. Mm-hmm. I like to feel like we have something for everybody. That being said, definitely our Cuban and our Bucky Basil.
Okay, Cuban
for sure.
And the Bucky Basil. Okay. Are we going to be seeing one of those today?
You're going to be seeing both of them.
Both of those. All right, excellent. So what are we going to start with?
So we're going to start with our Cuban. And this is kind of our signature thing. I used to live down in Clearwater, Florida.
Really? Okay.
And, I went to college down there, and I used to live off these things.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And down there, so we start with Cuban bread. This is really, really hard to find. It's going to be in a torta form right now.
Okay.
But normally down there, they'll actually make it into a big loaf, and you can get a Cuban like here, and here.
Okay. Wow.
Up here, this is the only way I could find it, but it does the job. So we start with the Cuban bread.
Okay.
Now, mine's a Tampa style, so you'll have a lot of people say this to you.
Yeah.
They'll see me putting mayonnaise on it right now, and they'll say, that's not a Cuban. Technically speaking, the first Cuban was from Ybor City in Tampa, and it did have mayonnaise on it.
Okay.
So
this is truly authentic, sticking with the origin.
For me, some people might not say that.
Gotcha.
So
I've heard that before. There's different types of Cubans, and then some people are very particular about what kind of Cubans they have.
So ours is a Tampa Bay style one.
Tampa Bay style, all right.
So we've got a garlic aioli. We make this in-house.
Wonderful.
It's just lemon juice, garlic, egg yolks, oil. Then we've got a nice spicy horseradish mustard here. And then every Cuban has to have this. No matter what happens, this is something that's definitely across the board. It's got to have pickles.
Oh, okay, got to have pickles.
Got to have pickles. Both of them have pickles.
Wow.
So we put about 8-9 slices of pickles on here.
Now, does it matter what kind of pickles you're using?
Absolutely.
This looks like more of the fresh dill pickles.
Yep, you need a kosher dill pickle for sure.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So what we have here is our version of a mojo pork.
Okay.
So most of the time down there, they'll get like a ham, and then they'll soak it in the mojo spice, which is generally like sour orange. It's going to have a lot of garlic in it.
Okay.
This is our version of it. So we actually take this, we rub it down with coriander and black pepper, and then we smoke it. Then we pull it and we toss it with fresh lime juice and fresh garlic. So you get pretty much the same effect, but I like to think like it's a little bit indigenous to us.
Sure.
It's something that not a lot of people are doing.
I'm astounded at how much goes into this sandwich. I mean, this isn't a sandwich that you can just say, hey, I'm in the mood for a Cuban. I'm going to go make one real quick. So you got to smoke your meat. You got to season it, all this stuff.
Yeah, we've actually had people trying to get all the different parts, and for us, we just can't do it.
Right.
So then the next thing I have is I've got a nice smoked ham. Typically speaking, they use a Virginia ham.
Okay.
We actually use a Black Forest ham, but it's pretty typical. It's got to be nice and it's got to be smoky, a little bit sweet. So we put about 3 slices of that on here.
Smoky and sweet.
Exactly, you got it. And then the last meat that we put on here is going to be salami.
Okay.
Now this, anybody that's ever had a Cuban will tell you, if they're from Miami, this can't happen.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when you said salami because I don't know if I've ever had a Cuban with salami.
Everybody says that, but you know, the thing about this is this is how they do it in Tampa.
Sure.
And it adds to the porkiness. I mean, why wouldn't you want
Right.
more cured pork on
Right.
on a pork sandwich, you know?
Why say no to more meat, right?
And then the last thing we've got is we do our signature baby Swiss. This is something that Brennan's has always carried here. How long have you guys been dealing with this creamery? I mean, it's been...
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
longer than you and I are.
Yeah,
Alive, really.
exactly. So, I mean, this stuff has definitely won a championship or two somewhere along the lines. And that's it. That's our Cuban. Then we're going to put it over here and send it to the plancha in a little bit. And that's actually the other thing that you can't see that's going on here, but we actually have a plancha, which is a flat press. Now, normally paninis have a ribbed press.
Right, yep.
We have a plancha. It's flat press. It goes with lower heat, so it takes longer, but it makes a more crisp crust. Like the thing about a Cuban is you should be able to hear it when you flick it.
Sure. Oh, wow, okay, great.
Okay.
And the one thing is, sorry to interrupt, but one thing is these sandwiches are all made to order. We're not putting these under heat lamps and
just like that. That's what happens every time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there is a little bit of a weight to it, but it's certainly worth the wait.
Well, it's definitely worth the wait. Anything's good anything good is worth waiting for. Well, we got just a few seconds left. Do we have one that's ready? I'd like to sink my teeth into it.
Yeah,
if
for
we
sure.
can. So.
Okay.
All right, and here we are with the finished product. So do you usually cut this in half for folks? Or
I
how
sure
does that,
do. First thing I do, I flick it. Make
you
sure
can hear that.
Yeah, you can hear it. Give it a little flick.
Oh yeah, that's audible. Now this one, not so much.
Not so much. So what we do, you always got to cut it long ways. You know, some people cut it like this. This is the traditional way of cutting it. You want a real nice, long, pronounced bias cut.
Okay.
So we just cut this guy down the front, and then
Look
basically,
at that.
There's your Cuban.
Look at that. That's beautiful. Tampa style Cuban right there. I'm gonna give it a try here.
Yeah, go ahead, my man.
All right. Ooh. You got it, man. That's awesome.
For sure.
Tim, good to see you. We are out of time. We'll have to make the next sandwich in the next segment that we do. So in a couple of months, right?
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back with more Restaurant Show after the break. Stick around.